Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a really fun video that I'm very excited about because we're going to be discussing some of my absolute favorite things in the entire world outside of food for the first time. If you don't know this about me, which you probably don't, I am a huge movie fanatic. I love old movies, I love some new movies, but primarily I do enjoy old films, especially ones that are based on novels, because I'm a huge book nerd. This is like this, I feel like this background is perfect for this video, which is why I came here. Today I'm going to be discussing 5 very important and very good movies that you should be watching, and right now is the perfect time because we're in quarantine, so if you're out of movie options, I got you. First, I wanted to start off with Dirty Dancing. You guys probably already know this. You guys have probably already watched this. I'm sure you have heard of the legendary Patrick Swayze, or Swayze. I still don't know how to pronounce his last name. All I know is I love him. I love his work. He's a great actor. So if you don't know already what Dirty Dancing is about this woman or girl.
I carried a watermelon.
Who goes on a family vacation for the summer to this resort, and she's like bummed about it, whatever. And then her luck gets turned around because she meets the legendary Johnny, aka Patrick.
Yo, cuz.
And she and him end up having this like chemistry, and it's all very PG. I don't know how to explain it. He's a dancer and he ends up teaching Baby how to dance, and it's just very like intimate and very romantic.
You're the one.
Highly recommend if you love a good romantic movie. And this film was made in 1987, so it is a bit on the older side. However, I promise, old movies, they're the best. They're so much better than what we have nowadays. Moving on to number 2. So, as I mentioned, I love Patrick, which is why this movie is phenomenal. I mean, I think this is a rite of passage to watch this film. I feel like it is a rite of passage to watch this film. The movie is Ghost. You guys, if you have not seen this, I mean, you had to have seen this. This movie is iconic. It's with Demi Moore, and it's just, it's so beautiful. It's so passionate, and you guys know the scene that's in the film where Patrick comes up behind Demi and he like wraps his arms around her, and they're doing that pottery ceramic thing, and it's just makes you want to literally drop everything in life and make pottery, because that's that moment. But anyways, beside the point, that is the legendary scene in that film though. Ghost is about a man named Sam Wheat, or aka Patrick, who is madly in love with this artist, Demi Moore. Her name is Molly in the movie, and they're in love.
I want to marry you, Sam.
Then Sam, aka Patrick, gets murdered, and Sam ends up roaming the earth as this lifeless, powerless spirit. And basically he's trying to find a way to, 1, save Molly, 2, cross on over to the other side. So there's all this drama that goes into it. It's amazing, it's romantic, it's iconic. Highly recommend checking this one out. It was filmed in 1990 and released, I think, so it's a little bit newer than Dirty Dancing. Now we are moving on to number 3. Number 3 is, okay, I know that I said the first 2 were my favorite, but I promise this one is my actual favorite. Breakfast at Tiffany's is iconic. Breakfast at Tiffany's is my life, my soul. I would like to think that I am a descendant of Audrey Hepburn at times, because she was just phenomenal.
The only thing that does any good is to jump into a cab and go to Tiffany's. Calms me down right away.
I think she's definitely one of my favorite actresses. and she is definitely just a huge icon and role model. But Breakfast at Tiffany's was based on Truman Capote's novel, and if you have not seen this, what are you doing? Breakfast at Tiffany's is beautiful. The storyline is so deep when you think about it. For instance, the main character Holly has a cat, and she calls him Cat because she doesn't think that the cat is worthy of a name.
What a slob without a name. The way I look at it, I don't have the right to give him one.
And in a way, it's like a comparison to her because she doesn't think that she's worthy. Did I even tell you what this is about? Breakfast at Tiffany's is about a socialite, Holly Golightly, who is basically on a mission to get married to a really wealthy man.
I'd marry you for your money in a minute.
So Holly ends up becoming a little interested in the man who moves in next door, or in her building. His name is George, but in real life his name is Paul Varjak, and if you know who Paul Varjak is, then you will know that he is extremely famous for his beautiful blue eyes.
The earplugs. Okay.
But back to Breakfast at Tiffany's. So she ends up throwing these lavish parties at her apartment, and she's on the hunt for her rich guy, and slowly Paul begins to kind of fall for her in a sense, and he just kind of sees like how broken she is, and he still ends up falling in love with her. It's just a beautiful movie. I ended up actually watching Breakfast at Tiffany's here in LA when I moved here, and it was at the top of a huge hotel on a huge big screen, and it was probably one of the most magical moments of my life because, just as I mentioned earlier, I feel like Breakfast at Tiffany's is just like a rite of passage, especially to watch it in LA. But anyways, highly recommend Breakfast at Tiffany's. Definitely one of my favorites, along with the rest. Number 4. So this one I feel like is a little, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. If you know who Jane Austen is, then you will know what Pride and Prejudice is. Pride and Prejudice is a beautiful movie set in the Georgian era, and basically it's about this woman, Elizabeth Bennet, who lives with her parents and her sisters.
How can you tease me so? Have you no compassion for my poor nerves?
And she's under a lot of pressure to get married. And she's kind of just this soft, this shy, beautiful girl who is actually played by Keira Knightley. So if I don't make this movie sound good, watch it because Keira Knightley is in it. She's essentially looking for love, but she's kind of just pressured by her family and, you know, society to get married. And she ends up meeting this man called Mr. Darcy, who I am sure you guys have all seen the memes, all seen the quotes, the Mr. Darcy quotes. Some of my favorite quotes from that movie are, you have bewitched me, body, mind, and soul. I forgot the last sentence to that one, but there's also, things will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire you. I don't know what it is. Like, movies and books like that, they just bring me so much warmth and love because they're so romantic. They're just so loving and just so passionate with how they speak. I think that's what it is. It's the way that they talk, and it's the way that they express their love and show intimacy through such powerful words. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But anyways, so what happens in the film is obviously Elizabeth falls for Mr. Darcy, and he shows that he's very smitten with her. However, he's extremely reserved, and he just kind of gives her the cold shoulder.
I thought you were in London.
No. No, I'm not.
And you just gotta watch it, you know? I don't want to give anything away. Anyways, highly recommend. And then lastly, I want to talk about Pretty Woman. This is such a fun movie. I understand why some people might not want to watch it because of like how it sounds, but I promise it's good. So Pretty Woman, filmed in 1990, is essentially a modernized story of Cinderella, or that's what they call it. So this film actually is starring Julia Roberts, and she is one of the main characters, and she plays a prostitute, and this man ends up picking her up essentially.
Are you looking for a date?
No, I want to find Beverly Hills. Can you give me directions?
And he takes her back to his hotel and he pays her to spend the weekend with him. Nothing happens, okay? Nothing happens. And throughout the movie, they just grow closer, and he kind of just shows her that there's more to life in a sense, and she kind of shows him the same, and it's just all extremely romantic.
You're late.
You're stunning.
You're forgiven.
And there's actually this really good part in the movie where Julia Roberts just realizes what's going on, and she's just like, I want the fairy tale. Like, this is what I want. And
wow, you must be really smart, huh? I only got through 11th grade.
Iconic film. As you know, the other ones were as well. I mentioned it only 500 times. Highly recommend watching Pretty Woman. And if you don't want to watch it for the storyline, watch it for Julia Roberts. Alright, so those were 5 of my favorite classic films. If you like any of those, if you decide to watch any of those, drop it down in the comments below if you have any other recommendations for me. I will probably end up filming another one of these with more classics. I think I could probably fill up a novel of my favorite classics. So anyways, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!